Revenge films.
I had been dating my boyfriend for a few years now, and we began talking about marriage. Getting married meant having a relationship with each other's families too. We talked about each other's families, and that is when I found out that he had a little sister. His sister was still young and in elementary school. They were not related by blood, though, because his mother had remarried and his sister was the daughter of his mother's second husband. I loved kids, so I was keen on meeting his sister. I asked him to introduce us when I visited his house. A week later, I went to his house for the first time. My boyfriend lived in a very big house with a big yard. As I entered his home, I was greeted by his mother. "Welcome. Please make yourself at home." "Thank you so much. It's lovely to meet you."
I'm gonna fix us some drinks, so can you go to my room upstairs?
Okay. As I made my way up the stairs, I wondered if his little sister was around. I then saw his little sister in the backyard. As I peered out the window, my boyfriend pointed in the direction of his room.
My room is this way.
"I saw your little sister through the window. Can I go say hi to her?"
You don't need to do that. She's a little crazy, so best that you don't get to know her.
What do you mean?
She's the trash of this family.
Trash? I couldn't believe the words coming out of my boyfriend's mouth. Why would he refer to his little sister as trash? Even if they were not related by blood, it was cruel to refer to a family member in that way. That day, I wasn't able to meet his little sister. I spent the day relaxing in my boyfriend's room, and then went straight home afterward. But I was worried about his little sister. I asked my boyfriend to take me to his house once again. We decided that I would go to his house over the weekend. That weekend, I arrived a little early to my boyfriend's house. I wondered if I should ring the doorbell or not. Then I heard shouting noises from inside the house. I could hear my boyfriend and his mother were yelling, "This food isn't meant for you. Stop eating it." "Please, I'm really hungry. I haven't eaten anything in 2 days."
You shouldn't be stealing food from our fridge. You're not a beggar. If you ask nicely, we may be able to spare you something.
"Please give me something to eat, I beg you."
Why would we do that? You're not even real family to us.
I couldn't understand why my boyfriend and his mother were so horrible to this little girl. I was deeply shocked after overhearing their conversation. Oh, are they bullying that poor little girl today too? I feel so bad for her. This is not the first time. No, it's not. Sarah's stepmother and stepbrother are always so mean to her. Sarah's father doesn't know this because he lives somewhere else due to his work. They don't feed her properly or let her inside the house. Sarah lives by herself in the shed in the backyard. I was appalled by what this woman had told me. So Sarah was not being fed and she was forced to live in a shed? This was outrageous. Sarah's father gets paid well for what he does. So his stepson has a fancy car and his mother had a lot of high-end fashion accessories. Sarah wears rags and she doesn't even get to bathe. Her friends tease her at school because she smells funny and wears dirty clothes. Sarah's all alone and in despair. I can't believe this. I ran over to the shed in the backyard of my boyfriend's house. My boyfriend saw me and said,
Why did you come straight to our backyard without ringing the doorbell?
"I came to see Sarah."
Why are you so fixated on getting to know Sarah? You don't need to meet her. She's not worth it.
Of course I'd want to meet her. I heard what you and your mother were saying to her earlier, and your neighbor told me all the terrible things that you do to her. Don't you realize that you're abusing your little sister?
She's not my real sister.
You're a real asshole, you know. And I went into the shed. Inside the shed was an old table and a dirty blanket. Sarah was sitting on the floor, thin and tired and looking. "Are you Sarah?" "Please don't come here." "I want to help you, Sarah. Let's leave this terrible place together." "My mother and brother will hit me if I leave without their permission." I won't let them do that to you. Let's go.
What are you doing? This is unforgivable!
I don't care what you say to me.
I'm warning you! Arrest him!
My boyfriend tried to use violence against me, but several police officers stopped him.
Did you call the police on me?
Of course I did. I knew that I needed their help with this.
Shit!
Meanwhile, my brother's mother was being arrested too. What are you doing? Let go of me!
You bitch! I would have married if you hadn't gone against me!
I couldn't help but slap my boyfriend in the face after what he just said to me. I'm glad that I didn't make the biggest mistake of my life by marrying you. My boyfriend and his mother were taken to the police station. Sarah, I'm going to make sure that they don't hurt you anymore. You don't need to worry. Let's ask your father to come back right away. But my father has to work. The police officers told me that they would be calling your father to tell him what happened to you. Really? Yes, really. I told the police officers everything that I had heard from the neighbor and had them call Sarah's father. As soon as Sarah's father found out about what was happening, he hopped onto a plane and came home that day. I stayed with Sarah until her father came home. I brought her home with me after we spoke to the police officers at the police station.
Sarah! Are you alright?
Daddy! Sarah cried tears of relief as soon as she saw her father. Sarah's father had been given the details on how Sarah had been mistreated by his wife and stepson, and apologized to his daughter over and over again.
Are you engaged to my stepson? Thank you so much for saving my daughter.
One of your neighbors told me about what was happening to Sarah, and I'm no longer engaged to your stepson. I couldn't marry someone that abused Sarah like that. And I want nothing to do with Sarah's stepmother either. I'm sorry to openly criticize your family like this.
No, you're absolutely right. I used to have my parents look after Sarah when I was away for work. But I thought that me getting remarried would be a positive thing for Sarah. I had hoped that having a new mother would make Sarah happy. But I was too naive. I'm so ashamed of my decision. I'm getting divorced from my wife, and I won't forgive her or her son for what they did to my daughter.
Sarah's father thanked me profusely and left my house with Sarah. Soon after, my ex-boyfriend and her mother were charged for abusing Sarah. They were each sent to separate prisons. The last time that I saw my ex-boyfriend, he was cursing me for getting him into trouble. I told him that it was his responsibility to pay for his crimes. I hope that he rots in jail for what he did to poor Sarah. It was all his fault. Sarah's father was furious with his ex-wife too, and was happy to see her go to jail. After the two of them were arrested, Sarah's father got in touch with me. I met him and Sarah at a cafe.
I'm moving to a new place with Sarah, and we're gonna start a new life there.
That sounds like a good plan. Sarah's much happier now that she was living with her father. Sarah, I hope that you have a great time at your new place. Make a lot of new friends, okay? I will. Thank you. Because of what my ex-boyfriend did to Sarah, I no longer had a boyfriend and had no plans to get married anytime soon. I started receiving alimony payments from my ex for all the trouble that he caused me. Most of all, I'm happy that I was able to help Sarah before it was too late. I hope that she makes up for the tough times by making lots of new and beautiful memories.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.